And welcome back to our live coverage from the 2018 50th anniversary of the U.S. Open. Right now you're seeing the top-ranked American male John Isner practicing, preparing for his battle with Dusan Lajovic later this afternoon on the grandstand court. The two of them have played a few times in the past, most recently in the Davis Cup opening round this year when the U.S. faced Serbia, with Isner winning a 5-set battle, 7-6 in the 5th set, 7-4 in the tiebreaker. That obviously incredibly close. They played two prior close matches in the past year, one coming at last year's Masters 1000 in Shanghai, Isner winning 7-6 in the 3rd set, and Isner won 7-6 in the 3rd set again in Eastbourne last year as well. The two of them, Isner and Lajovic, obviously played very tight matches. Lajovic, 28 years old, Serbian, has not won a title yet in his pro career, turned pro in 2007. John Isner, now 33 years old, of course, the nearly 6'11" American, one of the top players in the world over the past couple of years, has 2 career titles, also turned pro in 2007. Isner has had to fight in the U.S. Open thus far after a opening round straight set victory over Klon. He faced Jerry in the 2nd round and won 6-4 in the 5th set, was down 2-1, won the 4th 7-6 and the 5th 6-4. That match went late into the evening, and the American faithful, the crowd, were cheering Isner on throughout. One of the most beloved players in the U.S. is John Isner. Isner on court now, hitting with another former American pro, Justin Gimelstob. Gimelstob, now 41 years old, formerly top 65 in the world. Gimelstob reached the 3rd round of the U.S. Open twice during his career. He was a Australian Open semifinalist in doubles and has 2 mixed doubles Grand Slams, one coming at the 98 Australian Open, one coming at the 98 French Open. Isner, of course, not only a perennially top pro, but also one of the great college tennis players, a former national champion. He started at the University of Georgia before heading on to the Pro Tour. Isner had his best result at a Grand Slam just a couple months ago in Wimbledon, where he reached the semifinals before losing to another big server, Kevin Anderson. Anderson went on to lose to Novak Djokovic in that final. Isner's best appearance in the U.S. Open to date came in 2011 when he reached the quarterfinals before losing to Andy Murray in 4 sets. Isner, of course, we all remember the match he played in 2010 against Nicolas Mahut in Wimbledon, the longest match in tennis history, 70-68 in the 5th set. That match over 11 hours in total, spread across 3 days. Of course, an all-time sports classic. He also played an incredibly lengthy match in Wimbledon this year, another one of the longest matches in tennis history. That match, 26-24 in the 5th set in favor of Kevin Anderson. Isner won his first tournament in 2010 in Auckland, New Zealand. However, his most significant tournament win to date came just this year. Isner having a great year all around this year, finally able to string matches together of high-level play. Of course, we've seen Isner, when out healthy and at the top of his game, compete with the best players in the world, but in bigger tournaments has not been able to find his consistency. But seems to be turning the tide on that this year. Of course, a Wimbledon semifinalist, but captured the Miami Open title this year. That is first Masters 1000 crown. He had lost in the finals of two prior Masters 1000 tournaments, Cincinnati in 2013 and Paris in 2016, but Isner broke through this year in Miami, defeated the young German Sasha Zverev in the final. That a tough three-set battle. Isner dropping the first set, winning the next two 4-4. That gave John quite a bit of confidence going into the rest of the summer. And confidence coming out here at the Open that on hard court he can truly not only compete with, but defeat the best players in the world. Isner taking a quick break. It's a cooler day out here at the U.S. Open. Of course, the extreme heat in the story of the tournament thus far. Much cooler day today. Temperatures in the 60s or 70s, I should say. The roof is closed, however, in Arthur Ashe Stadium with the possibility for rain later in the day. And they closed it in advance as a precaution. We'll see how that impacts the matches to come on Ashe. Typically with the roof closed, gets a bit humid. Balls seem to get a bit heavier. That could favor Rafa in his matchup with the big serving Russian Kachanov, coming second match in Arthur Ashe. Of course, first match in Arthur Ashe between Sloane Stephens and Victoria Azarenka just getting underway as we speak. Play around the grounds beginning at 11 Eastern. Let us know in the comments how you think John Isner will fare in this year's U.S. Open. Will he be able to top his previous best performance in the Open, that a quarterfinal appearance? Will John possibly get to his first Grand Slam final here at the Open? Victoria in the comments rooting for John Isner. Keith in the comments saying, love watching Isner play. Isner, of course, always entertaining to watch. Such a big serve, such powerful ground strokes. We saw an example of that right there on the backhand side. The American fans are out in full force here watching John practice. Isner's match will be coming up later this afternoon on Grandstand. The first match between Makarova and Sevastova just underway. That'll be followed by another American hopeful, Taylor Fritz, the young American, facing off against the 9-seed Dominic Thiem, with Isner playing just after that. Taking you around the grounds, the doubles team of brothers Ryan and Christian Harrison won the first set over the number 10 seed Feliciano and Mark Lopez. Feliciano and Mark Lopez, always one of the top doubles teams in the world over the past year. Today also the start of the junior U.S. Open. John's been hitting his serve as big as ever in the Open so far this year. It's such a weapon, even when the courts are playing a bit slower as they are this year. John's still able to dictate points with that big serve, get on offense right off the bat, and uses big ground strokes for a lethal 1-2 punch to finish points quickly. Isner showing some finesse there on the serve and volley. Isner with such long strides gets up to the net incredibly fast. He's very agile for someone of his stature. Isner coming into net and just blocking back a little half volley there. One of the few guys on tour that's able to pick that ball up off his feet, especially being so tall. Isner's been working quite a bit on that serve and volley. We saw some of that at Wimbledon this year as well. Christine in the comments saying hello from Berlin, Germany. Thanks for joining us all around the world. Let us know in the comments your prediction for John Isner's third round battle. That's to come in just a couple of hours. Will he be able to break through to the round of 16? Overcast day around the grounds, but a much needed relief from the heat. Should John Isner win his third round battle, he could face a winner between Milos Raonic and Stan Wawrinka. That match coming later this evening. Raonic, of course, a former Grand Slam finalist. Wawrinka, a three-time Grand Slam champion, including a former U.S. Open champion. That'll be John's biggest test of the tournament to date. Isner with a huge serve up the tee there, getting Gimelstob out of position. And a beautiful return there by Gimelstob, the 41-year-old, still with great hands. Quite a few intriguing round three battles. Of course, we have Nadal and Khachanov playing in just a couple of hours. We have Roger Federer and Nick Kyrgios coming up tomorrow. Stan Wawrinka and Milos Raonic. Quite a few others. Isner still getting the shoulder warmed up, but still putting quite a bit of pace on those serves. Such an incredible weapon there for John. Gimelstob and Isner discussing some tactics up at the net, discussing serve placement. Isner not only able to hit one of the biggest serves on tour, but has such exceptional placement of his serve as well. The return game, however, has been a struggling point of Isner. You often see him in 6-4, 7-5, 7-6 matches, often one break deciding the set, or oftentimes sets going into tiebreakers. Of course, incredibly difficult to break Isner's serve, but Isner having difficulty breaking the serve of his opponents. That was major difficulty for him in his last round match against Jerry, that 5-set battle, but Isner hoping to return better in the third round today. And as Isner takes his last couple returns before heading into the locker room to finish preparing for his match, we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back at 1:30 with Diego Schwartzman, Kei Nishikori, and more of the top players in the world. Of course, later today we'll see Serena and Venus Williams practicing side by side, that at 4:30 Eastern. So make sure you join us throughout the day here on US Open social media. Joey Brander here with you all day and all tournament long. We'll be right back.